So, yes, here we are. Gather round, children. It's race number 3 of Graveyard Sprint Series number 7. We are at Brands Hatch Indy. Everyone's in a Sirocco. You get a Sirocco, you get a Sirocco, everybody gets a Sirocco. If you check under your chairs right now, because we're going to go around Brands Hatch Indy for 7 laps with a mandatory pit stop and tyre change. Schwaber, Troy, Contagious, Jonesy at the front 4 on the grid. Zambe, Rick, Kiwi and Slayer round out the top 8 as we are off and racing at Brands Hatch as we fly down the hill 2 by 2 into the dreaded clutches of turn 1. Relatively clean. Everybody runs through now into turn 2. We fly 2 by 2. There's going to be contact as they go 3 wide around turn 2 for the first time. Look at all these Volkswagens running down the hill now into turn 3. Couple of cars ghosting a little bit. Early penalties being distributed through the grid. Not a lot of tarmac, not a lot of space. As Jonesy and Zambe go side by side, Zambe loses out and has to slow down. Slayer comes around the outside. The time this was filmed, Slayer, the defending sprint champion in the bright blue. And Schwaber, the defending endurance champion, I believe. Or was that Gnarly? I'm not sure. Whoa, Jonesy very wide over turn 1 for the first time. Turn 1 claims its first victim as they run into turn 2 for the second time of asking. Troy and Slayer side by side battle it out. That invites Zambe to the party. Slayer gets the move done on Troy into turn 3. And 5th through 8th is anyone's game. Gnarly in 6th now in the M&M's livery. Pagani makes a move upside the inside of Gnarly. Gets the job done. Contagious makes a mistake and Rick Green comes through and capitalizes on Gnarly's slow pace around there as well. So 2 laps done out of 7. It's Schwaber, Slayer, Troy, Zambe, Pagani, Rick around turn 1 for the third time. Absolute nightmare of a turnaround. Wow, who was that? Zambe with the inside run on Troy around the hairpin. Troy's got the inside line now. Zambe runs wide, loses his back end. Gnarly almost collides with him as he comes through turn 3. And Pagani and Troy. Pagani's made the move on Troy as well. Rick jumps Zambe around the middle straight. All sorts of overtaking going on after just 3 laps. Number of drivers now starting to serve their pit stops. Pagani comes in, so does Gnarly, so does Slayer, so does Schwaber. Nope, Slayer's still out. Rick Green came in, Schwaber came in. Slayer, Troy, Zambe, your front 3. Jones is in 4th, Contagious in 5th, Schwaber in 6th. Kiwi in 7th, GT in 8th. Con a little bit wide around turn 1 in 10th now. Gnarly with the inside run on Con into turn 2. As they filter through into the middle straight. GT hot on the heels of Kiwi. Battling for 7th and 8th. Schwaber looks like the front of the pit stoppers. Slayer's coming in now to serve his stop. So does Contagious. So does Jonesy. So the front 2 still have to pit. What happens after this shuffle? Slayer comes out and gets to turn 1 in 4th. Schwaber's still in 3rd. Kiwi in 5th. GT still hot on the heels of Kiwi. Pagani is in 7th. Gnarly's in 8th. 7th through 9th, you can throw a blanket over. GT, a little bit of a tap into the back of Kiwi there. Into turn 3 for the 5th time of asking. As the front runners have a pit stop opportunity. Who comes in, who stays out? Troy and Zambe both come into the pits. I think that's everybody. As we've got 2 laps to go. Where is Zambe and Troy going to come out? Who's the first to turn 1? GT runs out of road. There he goes. Loses his back end. Well saved. Schwaber's lost it as well. So after what seems like everybody is pit, Slayer's capitalised. Slayer's in the lead, followed by Kiwi, followed by Pagani. It's Troy and Con are side by side. Con's going to dive down the inside here, no doubt. Con's in 6th. Rick is side by side with Troy through the middle straight with a lap and a half to go. It's Slayer, Kiwi, Pagani, GT, Gnarly, Con, with Troy and Rick hanging on in the top 8. Don't go anywhere. We've got 1 lap to go. 50 seconds of madness. Pagani looks to go up the inside of Kiwi around turn 1. Kiwi runs himself wide. He had enough space to keep in, but manages to hold the position. Pagani dives up turn 2, gets the job done, shuts the door on Kiwi. GT is still lurking in 4th. Slayer Freak has got away from everybody. It's about 2nd through 4th. Who's going to take the podium positions as they approach the final turn for the final time? Pagani leads them in, and Pagani leads them out. Nobody runs wide. Is there enough slipstream in any of those cars to get around? Slayer Freak takes the checkered flag and the max damage, followed by Pagani, Kiwi, GT, Con, Troy, Rick, and then Gnarly, Zambe, Jonesy, with Contagious and Schwaber bringing up the back of the pack. So, after 3 races, let's look at the cumulative points. Slayer and Pagani are both on 21. GT's on 24. Kiwi's on 11. Con's on 15. Troy, Rick, and Zambe are on 7. Gnarly, Jonesy, and Contagious and Schwaber on all less than 10. So it is still close. There's still 2 races to go in the series. So let's head on over now to race number 4 for your viewing pleasure. Yes, it's Blue Moon Infield A. We're doing 7 laps in the Toyota 86. It's reverse grid from the last race. Schwaber is at the back by request, I believe, tonight from that race. Contagious and Jonesy are going to lead us away for 7 laps now around Blue Moon Infield A. It's a 1 make in the Toyota 86 as they go 4 wide approaching turn 1 for the first time. Zambe's appeared from the middle into 2nd with track position on the rest of the grid. Contagious shuts the door on him. Gnarly just picking up the inside. This is going to be ridiculous coming around turn 2. Watch this. Nice and tidy. Well done. Could you believe it? 3 wide now into turn 2 or turn 3. Zambe runs very wide. Jonesy tippy-tappy all the way through. Gnarly's backed off after bumping Zambe wide. As they all, this is a mess all around this turn. Look at that hairpin. Troy's been pushed wide. Somebody pulled right up on the inside and ghosted out. As they run down now towards the final sector. This is a big pinch point as well, with a very wide runoff. Most drivers, 3 drivers at the back, run it wide on the first lap as they approach the speedway section of the circuit at the end of lap 1. So it's Contagious, Kiwi, and Rick that take us around. Con's in 4th, Jonesy's in 5th, Pagani is in 6th, and look at the rest of the pack. Slayer, Schwaber through 10th, all battling each other now, running down over the start finish. At the end of lap 1, GT and Zambe serve a pit stop, so they are going to do 6 laps on the same set of tyres. Con with the inside run on Rick around turn 1 into turn 2. Rick dives. Might have the run now to make the lunge, but doesn't quite have the pace into turn 3. Approaching turn 4, the hairpin. Contagious, Kiwi, Con. Rick closing the gap on Con. 6th through 9th all come through together. 6th and 7th lose their back end. Slayer, Schwaber, and Pagani all within surely 0.2 of a second of each other. They're all looking for a way to get it around each other as they come around this hard right. The wall moves on the outside. Sparks fly off someone, off Slayer. As they approach the long, flat right-hander for the second time. Slayer gets the better run from Schwaber. Anybody serves a pit stop now? No one comes in at the end of 2. Con does. My apologies. So that's at least 3 cars have served a pit stop. Schwaber's going to look for the slipstream and the run around turn 1 on Slayer. Slayer has to leave him room. Rick and Jonesy come around, followed by Slayer and Schwaber. Rick disappears into the wilderness, loses a massive amount of time and invites Slayer to the party. Pagani's caught up on Schwaber as well and makes the dive around turn 3 and gets it done. All of a sudden, Rick's in second, Pagani's in 4th. As they come around turn 4, Schwaber's back in 5th. Gnarly's crept up and is lurking in 6th place now. Rick is in 2nd. Jonesy in the lead with daylight and space. Gnarly's in 6th, Troy's in 7th, and Contagious in 8th. As we approach the final turn for the 3rd time. Rick with the inside run on everybody else. Slayer tries to go around the outside, and he does. 6 cars, 5 cars all close together, but Rick dives into the pits. Gnarly and Schwaber almost side by side. They're catching Pagani. We've just passed halfway in the race. Jonesy, Slayer, Pagani, Schwaber, and Gnarly still have to serve a pit stop. Looks like everybody else has served. So we have 2 races going on at the moment. The front 5 and everybody else. As Pagani and Slayer are battling all the way around. Here they come around turn 4. Jonesy's still in the lead. Slayer is closing the gap on Jonesy. Gnarly's still in 4th. Schwaber hot on his heels. Just takes one mistake from any of these drivers. Gnarly, a little bit of grass on his tyres. That's going to invite Schwaber into lunge range for the final turn. Schwaber gets a better run there. Gnarly's going to lose speed. Gnarly defends. Along the long, flat right-hander, Schwaber's got the inside line. A little bit of contact there. That's debatable. But we'll move on. That's racing, folks. Gnarly's going to dive into the pits. So is Schwaber. So is Slayer. So Pagani and Jonesy, the only 2 drivers with a pit stop remaining, it would seem. I believe. Jonesy losing a lot of time as he comes around turn 1 and makes a big mistake. Pagani's going to be licking his lips at the prospect of that. So they approach turn 4. Contagious is in 3rd, followed by Kiwi and Zambe in 5th. Con's in 6th, Slayer's in 7th, and GT is in 8th. So Contagious, the leading car of the pit stoppers, followed by Kiwi and Zambe. Con's trying to close the gap on Zambe now as Zambe and Con get a slow exit out of turn 4. Jonesy and Pagani are approaching the final turn of lap 5 now. Will they take the pit stop or will they carry on? They should probably work together to go around again, but Jonesy comes in. So does Pagani. So again, a 2-lap dash to the finish as we were watching Gnarly and Schwaber battling their way through the middle sectors. Does Contagious have the overlap? He'll have the pace, surely. GT leads Con and Zambe around with 2 to go. And Contagious and Kiwi in 1st and 2nd, with the undercut paying off. Jonesy and Pagani have come around in 3rd and 4th, but Slayer has the pace to get around Pagani into the 2nd turn. Makes it a little bit of a mistake. That gives Pagani the inside line into turn 3. Whoa, big shake there from GT. Something potentially happened there between Con and GT earlier, but we'll carry on. Pagani and Slayer battling around turn 4. Lap and a half to go. GT within range of DanZambe as well. Loses his back end a little. Gran loses out around turn 4 also. So Kiwi, Jonesy, and Contagious, not in that order, are the front three. As Pagani capitalizes on a mistake from Jonesy. Jonesy back down to 5th. 1 lap to go. Around the penultimate final turn. Pardon me. So 1 lap to go here now. Pagani, Slayer, Jonesy, and Con. Third through. What's Pagani doing? I think he thought that was the last lap. He did. Someone's made contact with him as well. That was Con. So Pagani and Con, the big losers. DanZambe and GT slalom their way through the slower cars. DanZambe up into 5th. Slayer and Jonesy have suddenly a lot more room to breathe and drive. Contagious and Kiwi are battling. Kiwi's made the move on Contagious. What a final lap we have on our hands. Contagious with the inside line, now running down into turn 5. And sorry, turn 6 in front of us. Is anybody going to bail out? Contagious doesn't. Kiwi shuts the door. They both run wide. Contagious runs a little too wide. 1 turn to go. Into the flat right-hander. Can Contagious get it done? Kiwi with the ride line. Contagious in the slipstream. Is anyone carrying penalties? Contagious serves his. Kiwi comes across the line. Kiwi takes max damage. Contagious in 2nd. Jonesy and Slayer come across the line in 3rd and 4th. DanZambe in 5th. GT in 6th. 7, 8, 9 come across the line all together. 10 and 11. Phew. Don't know what's going on there. And Troy in 12th. So the cumulative points after 4 of the 5 races. We have Kiwi on 21 points, Contagious on 10, Jonesy on 13, Slayer Freaks on 27, DanZambe's on 12, GT's on 28, 1 point in front of Slayer, Gnarly's on 12, Schwaber's on 10, Pagani's on 21. So Kiwi and Pagani within arm's reach of GT and Slayer with 1 race to go. It all comes down to that one. We'll see you for the final race next time.